Hey guys, it's Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, thank you for finding us. If you want to give us a sub, a thumbs up, and a comment, and all that fun stuff, it would be much appreciated. What are we here to talk about today? So, I recently watched Police Story 3 Super Cop, which you can see, I believe, right there. That is the Eureka edition, and it is also on this amazing Eureka 4K Police Story box set as one of the 3 films in there. It's the trilogy set. And I realized that that movie came out 30 years ago, because it's 1992, and that movie, or rather, it's 2022, and that movie came out in 1992, and then I reviewed The Dead and the Deadly from Eureka, which is another release I absolutely loved. I loved that movie. That came out in 1982, and it occurred to me that it's the 40th anniversary of that movie, and then I started thinking, wait a minute, it's like a big anniversary for a lot of really great Hong Kong films this year. And I started kind of looking through lists and stuff like that. And so I thought it might be fun if I just made a video where I read a bunch of Hong Kong movies that are celebrating big anniversaries this year. And what I would like is for I'm sure that there's a ton of stuff I missed. So for everyone out there who knows way more than I do, or who knows movies that I'm missing that I don't, for whatever reason, are not on this list, get in the comments and put them on there, because I want to make a huge list for everyone to come and see, and to see which movies are celebrating anniversaries. But we're getting towards the end of the year, and so I thought, if I'm going to make this list, I got to make it now. So I did some research, I wrote some stuff down. I'm starting with 10-year anniversary, because I thought 5 is like not that big of a deal. So 10 years ago was 2012, and so those are the first films that I have here. I'm going to start there, and I'm going to go backwards in time all the way to 1967 for films that are celebrating their 55th anniversary. And I was looking at the 1962, for 60th anniversary, and I'm like, I don't know enough about Hong Kong cinema from this era to even know what would be the ones to highlight. So 10-year anniversary this year, Drug War, one of the great Johnny To films, one of my favorite films of his, I think one of a lot of people's favorite films of his. A lot of people would say kind of the end of his classic era. And then Cold War, which is a film that I believe won a bunch of awards at the Hong Kong Film Awards, if I'm correct about that. 15-year anniversary, which would be 2007. You have Flashpoint. Okay, so a lot of people don't like Flashpoint. That's actually one of my favorite Donnie Yen movies. I love that movie. Louis Koo is in that movie, and it's like this really fun, kind of corny undercover cops and criminals movie with just, the fight scene. The fight scene, need I say more? Mad Detective, of course, the Johnny To movie, and then Triangle. So Triangle is a really interesting film. If you've never seen it, it's a film that's with 3 sections, essentially. They're directed by 3 different directors, who are Choi Hark, Ringo Lam, and Johnny To, but it's one movie. It's not like 3 short films. So 20-year anniversary, which would be 2002. Actually, this is not even planned, but look what I have right here. Infernal Affairs came out in 2002. So shout out to PerryFan49, actually, for sending me this recently. What a great film, and that's the Criterion set, and I'm really, really excited about that. And then Troublesome Nights 13 through 17. So I don't know. I'm just astounded by how many Troublesome Night movies there are, and the fact that 5 of them came out in the same year. Arne Venema loves those movies, and I just thought it would be fun to throw them on this list, even though obviously Infernal Affairs is like the big one for 20 years this year. 25 years, so this would be 1997. Full Alert, the Ringo Lam movie, which I absolutely love, which actually you can see behind me somewhere. There it is right there. And then Happy Together, the classic Wong Kar-wai film, which was made directly about the handover, which, as you know, happened in 1997. Made in Hong Kong, the Fruit Chan movie. Troublesome Nights 1 and 2. So I guess they started the whole series. And then Once Upon a Time, China and America. So I think a lot of people would say, hey, that's not a classic movie, but you've heard of it, haven't you? There's a Eureka Blu-ray box set release of it. So it's a movie that I'm sure was very big in some people's lives, and it's a movie that is celebrating an anniversary this year, so 30 years. Okay, this is insane. The next couple, like 30 years and 35 years and 40 years and 45 years, okay, it's insane. So 1992. Police Story 3 Super Cop, obviously. Hard Boiled, Twin Dragons, Dr. Lamb, Justice My Foot, Casino Tycoon 1 and 2, Once Upon a Time in China 3, Full Contact, hell yes, Chow Yun-fat and Ringo Lam, Center Stage, Ghost Punting, A Kid from Tibet, Naked Killer, Royal Tramp, New Dragon Inn, Swordsman 2, Wicked City, Gun and Rose, which I very recently reviewed, which has Andy Lau and a bunch of others in it. All of those films are celebrating their 30th anniversary this year. What a hell of a year that was. But get ready for 35 years, because it's 1980 freaking 7, baby. Hell yes. Deep in the heart of the classic. I know that everyone has a different idea of what the classic era of Hong Kong cinema is, but like 83 to 92 maybe is like that's it for me. That's like the bada bing bada boom, baby. That's the money shot. The money shot. What am I talking about? Those are the money shot years, baby. Yeah, boy. Okay, 1987, 35-year anniversary. An Autumn's Tale. A Better Tomorrow 2. A Chinese Ghost Story. City on Fire. What? A Better Tomorrow 2 and City on Fire coming out in the same year is just insane. It's insane to me. City on Fire is one of my all-time favorites. And A Better Tomorrow 2 is like one of the most classic action movies ever made. Eastern Condors. What? Final Victory, Flaming Brothers, The Haunted Cop Shop, Long Arm of the Law 2, Magnificent Warriors, Mr. Vampire 3, People's Hero, Prison on Fire, Project A 2, Jackie Baby, Rich and Famous and Tragic Hero. Okay, so like, Chow Yun-fat in 1987 was in A Better Tomorrow, he was in City on Fire, he was in friggin' Prison on Fire, and Tragic Hero, and Rich and Famous, and all these other movies, but Tragic Hero is like probably my favorite like trashy B-tier Chow Yun-fat movie. So that's just, I mean, come on, 1987, what a year. And to imagine to have been in Hong Kong in I was 4 years old, so I probably wouldn't have been doing much in Hong Kong in 1987, but it just would have been so cool. Okay, so 40 years. We're going back to 1982. What do we have? Two Champions of Shaolin, which I actually put on my 10 Essential Shaw Brothers movie list. I love that freaking movie. Aces Go Places, which is like the movie of all movies, right? And like the Winners and Sinners series was made to kind of try to capitalize on the popularity of Aces Go Places series. And like that movie it was such a huge hit and so hugely influential and such a big part of the culture. Bastard Swordsman, Boat People, which I reviewed recently, the Anne Hui film, which was released by Criterion not too long ago. Carry On Pickpocket, Centipede Horror, which was released by Error 4444, I believe, right? So that's why I wanted to put that on here to highlight it, because it got a recent Blu-ray release, so you can go out and check it out. The Dead and the Deadly, which I just mentioned, which I absolutely love. And I think Encounter of the Spooky Kind was 82 as well, right? I think those movies came out the same year. You know what? I have it right here, so we can just look. Because as I was starting to record this video, I was realizing, oh, this is 1980. Never mind. So, but anyway, yeah. So, Dead and the Deadly, and then Dragon Lord, Jackie. Where is Dragon Lord? I have it over here somewhere. I was going to show it to you, and now I'm realizing I don't know where it is. Is it over here? Huh. I have Dragon Lord. I have the box set, but I am presently unable. That's so weird. Where did it go? I see the Young Master. Oh, here it is. I have this version, the 88 films release. So there you go, Dragon Lord. Classic Jackie Chan movie. Classic, classic, classic. Woo! Okay, so let's keep going, guys. Nomad, which is the Patrick Tam movie, and then Shaolin Temple with Jet Li. So, 45 years. 1977. Let's rock and roll, baby. Battle Wizard. Okay. Probably not a lot of people will consider that like a classic movie, but that movie is batshit insane and it is amazing. And I'm putting it on my damn list. Brave Archer, Chinatown Kid, Clans of Intrigue, Death Duel, The Clones of Bruce Lee, Last Hurrah for Chivalry, John Frickin' Woo, come on, To Kill with Intrigue, Executioners of Shaolin, Iron Fisted Monk, the original Iron Monkey, Lady Exterminator, like, woohoo! 1977, baby. Okay, now 50 years. We're going all the way back to 1972. Five Fingers of Death, which is King Boxer, which is, if you watch the channel, you know that's like one of my top, probably 3 favorite personal Shaw Brothers films. I absolutely freaking love that movie. And I did a video about it when I got Shawscope Volume 1. Shout out to Flip Otaku for sending me the Shawscopes. 14 Amazons, Boxer from Shantung. Come on, another absolute classic, which is a hugely influential film on John Woo, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just a classic movie, which is also in the Shawscope Volume 1 set. Fist of Fury. That's probably my favorite Bruce Lee movie. So, come on. And that's also, I think, one of Flip Otaku's favorite movies, since he's so obsessed with Bruce Lee. Hapkido, Intimate Confessions of a Chinese Courtesan, Lady Whirlwind. Hapkido and Lady Whirlwind are both on the Angela Mao set, which is right here, which I loved. I loved the crap out of this set. Awesome bonus features, great movies. I really liked both of these movies. They're so much fun. I highly recommend checking that set out if you haven't already. The Water Margin, Way of the Dragon, more Bruce Lee, and then Prodigal Boxer, which was actually on the, do I have that over here? The Basher box from Pearl River, which used to be up here. Yeah, here it is. So if you haven't checked this out, so this is like scans of the film prints of the English dubs of like 2 classic Basher films. And then Michael Worth does like various bonus features on here talking about the films. And then John Kreng is on here too, who's great. And this is a great release. And if you're unfamiliar with like Basher films and like those early 70s kind of post Bruce Lee types of movies, I think that's like a really cool like primer on that subgenre. So 55 years, 1967. Why is this such an important year in Hong Kong cinema? Because the one-armed freaking boxer, or no, the one-armed freaking swordsman, excuse me, wrong one-armed warrior, came out, and the One-Armed Swordsman was the first movie to make $1 million Hong Kong dollars at the box office, if I'm not mistaken, and that kind of ushered in the commercial success of that film. Ushered in this whole era of these like violent wuxia like swordplay type of films, and I think you could argue that Come Drink With Me was maybe like artistically and creatively more influential, and was kind of like in a way started it, but that was the movie where like it just blew up and went crazy. If my history is correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but Golden Swallow, which is the sequel to sorry, it's the sequel to Come Drink With Me. I'm not going to tell you why I was laughing because it's bad. But anyway, Golden Swallow. Man from Interpol, which is a Choi Yun film, because I absolutely love Choi Yun, so I had to give one of his films a shout out. Hong Kong Nocturne. So what I'll tell you about 1967 is I really don't know that much about Hong Kong cinema in that era, but I found this massive list of Hong Kong movies that were released in 1967, and I tried to kind of highlight ones that looked really interesting to me, that are celebrating an anniversary, so that maybe someone might be compelled to try to seek them out if you haven't seen them. So Hong Kong Nocturne looked really interesting to me because it's like this epic Shaw Brothers musical from a Japanese director who's like full-on Japanese, born in Japan, raised in Japan, made Japanese cinema, and he made this Shaw Brothers musical. I just thought that was really interesting. The Cave of the Silken Web and Susanna, which are both directed by Ho Meng-hua. Now, Ho Meng-hua directed Black Magic and Black Magic 2, and I love those movies. So when I saw his name on here, I'm not familiar with those films, but I saw his name on here, I had to give a shout out. Assassin. So this is an other Chang Che, Jimmy Wang Yu movie, besides The Three-Legged Swordsman. And then Angel with Iron Fists, which was directed by Lo Wei. And there's a ton of other stuff that came out in 1967. And I'm sure that there are really seminal films that came out in 1962 that are celebrating their 60th anniversary. But again, I don't really know enough about those films to know what should be highlighted. But if you do, I would invite you to put those films in the comments. Let me know which one of these movies you like the most, which one of these movies you're most interested in trying to check out, which one of these movies the Blu-ray label should be putting out, which of these movies I shouldn't have put on this list. Don't say Battle Wizard, because it's a freaking masterpiece. And I don't know which movies that you think are missing from the list and all that fun stuff. It's movies that are celebrating big anniversaries this year, 2022, in Hong Kong cinema. My name is Will. There it is. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.